Hello everyone, here's an attempt at a personal budget. We have earnings per hour, earnings per year, earnings per month still with me. Income taxes, Social Security and Medicare taxes. Housing per income earner, so it assumes 2 incomes. This is the housing costs over here. Car payment, seems reasonable. Car insurance, gasoline, utilities, phone, internet. This is split 2 ways. And then groceries is only for a single person too, so it's 2 income earners. Do all the math. This includes student loans too. There's student loans over here. You do all the math. We have plus $342 in the green. This means 93% of your income is going to bills. Your disposable income is $2 per hour. It takes you 7 hours to earn a $15 Happy Meal. Terrible, right? This is with 2 income earners making $30 an hour. Here's our home cost, average cost, $420,000. Interest rate, right? Average mortgage, calculated out. Property tax, seems reasonable. Including the total property tax, $3,200 a month for your housing. Divided by 2 per income earner, 2 income household. This is just from over here. This is your interest only, per person too. This is not total interest, this is interest per person per month. Student loans, total payment, interest only. And then here we have tax, debt, and profit. We have our income, we have our total debt interest, we have our total taxation, we have our income minus debt and taxation. And then this is from here, this is our articles of syndication profit sharing, $1,400 a month right here. And then that's adding to here. So actually don't worry about this stuff. This is our rich person comparison. We have a net worth of $10 million for our rich person. This is the interest rate. This is what the rich person is earning. Do the math, $600,000 a year. This is his cost of living, $100,000 a year. Disposable income, $500,000 a year, which works out to be, compared to the worker, 12,000% more income than the worker, who has a 2 income household, mind you. The rich person is just his net worth. Here's the stats for all of the bills. Purple is his excess money. So yellow is housing, and purple is his disposable income. Pretty bad. Over here is his net income is yellow. This includes bills though, for the net income. It doesn't include bills. And then this is just tax and interest for that. Now if we go down, you have the exact same chart, but under the covenant. So we have no income payroll tax, 3% interest, assuming that's very optimistic, and 0% property. So our property goes down to 0 right here, and our taxes go to 0 right here. And our interest, look at our interest, goes from it was 9% for the student loans and 6% for the housing. Now it goes down to 3% for the housing and 3% for the student loans. So our interest goes from 35% to 15%, and our taxes go from 25% to 0%. Now look at our purple. The wages after bills goes from $342 to $2,300. You get an extra $2,000 a month. Now your disposable income is $14 an hour. It only takes you an hour to get that $15 meal. Amazing. Only 50% of your income is going to bills here. 93% of your income is going to bills here. That's from the covenant. That's how powerful the covenant is. The interest rate, we don't really control the interest rate in Arkology. I wish we did. I hope the interest rate would decline back down to 3%. That's just optimism, really. Now, then, if we have living under Arkology with 1% interest rate and no student loans and no car and cheaper housing because we're in Arkology. So our car payments, this is the new car payments, 30, 20, and 0. This is the old car payments, 525, 250, and 160. This is our new housing, 120, and with a 1% interest rate. And then this was the previous housing, 420 with a 3% interest rate. So really the changes are incredible. Student loans get zeroed out, obviously. with the rich person over here at a 3% interest rate, and this person's making $2,300 a month, the rich person is still 900% wealthier than the worker. But it went down from 12,000 to 900. See, because of the lower interest rate, that really hurts the rich person. And then here, the rich person goes down to 1% interest rate. So he actually has to cut his cost of living, and he's still only 100%, now down to 100% wealthier than the worker. The worker has $4,500 in his pocket after bills every month. Only 10% of his income is going to bills. Look at this chart here, with the purple being his leftover disposable income. So this right here is groceries, and this right here is his housing. Everything else is like almost zero. Really amazing, really crazy stuff. And then once he pays off his mortgage, that housing goes to zero, and all he has left is groceries. So that's the power of Arkology. It's so affordable, because we have these zeroed out taxes, zeroed out property tax, zeroed out transportation, zeroed out student loans. This is where wealth comes from, is taking all your bills as low as possible. So with our current society, we want to get GDP as high as possible, so we do all these things to make GDP fake. We get a fake economy with fake jobs and fake commuting. Well, the commuting's real, but the productivity is fake. So the alternative with Arkology is to lower bills instead of raising GDP. So lower bills instead of fake growth. That's the secret. So look at all these zeros. Do you see all these zeros? It's amazing. And even if, let's say we change the interest rate to 3%. Look at that. That's all it did. Let's say it's even a 6%. Let's say worst case scenario, the interest rate doesn't change. Look at the housing. I mean, the housing only went from 400 to 700. That's not bad. $400 to $700. And then the rich person is at 1,000%. 1,000% richer than the worker, which I think is fair. I mean, $10 million. Is that fair? It's hard to say if that's fair. This is excessive though. 12,000% richer than the worker. That's just excessive and evil. This is the status quo, everyone. So, really cool math. This covers almost everything in a personal budget. This is very thorough. And yeah, I hope you learned everything, or I hope you learned something. I hope you learned everything, right? I hope you saw how powerful the covenant is. The covenant is a real game changer. I could change this to 6%. And it's still only 61% income going to bills. 61% compared to 93%. That's how powerful the covenant is. And then 13% compared to 61%. That's how powerful Arkology is. So Arkology, I guess they're both like equally powerful. But that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. To go from 93% of your income going to bills down to 13% of your income going to bills. This is freedom right here. 13% of your income going to bills. That is freedom. This 93% is wage slavery. That's what that is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Share it with anyone that might be interested. And remember, a single dream is more powerful than 1,000 years of wage slavery.